Let's talk about your midterm. They're not as bad as you think. Now, for the midterm, what we're going to do is we're going to take the midterm in 3 parts. The first 2 parts of your midterm, and we're going to stretch this over several weeks here. The first 2 parts are purely memory work. So this is the handout that you have. It's got all the forms of the Cal Perfect, the Cal Imperfect, the WCI, Jussive, Cohortative, the imperatives, of course, without my beautiful markings here, the participle with the alternate feminine singular form, that's the active participle, the Cal passive participle, the infinitive construct, which is pacode when there are no pronominal suffixes, and then we have one form with the 3MS pronoun. Is that on your handout? Oh, rats. Let's add that, okay? So if you don't have that on your handout, add that. So I want you to also be committing to memory this poke-do form so that you've got the poke-de part of your vowel pattern for the Cal infinitive construct. And then the absolute we have now added to our forms. So we now have all the forms of the Cal stem. Pacode is the absolute, infinitive absolute. So we now have it all. Okay? And the first part of your midterm is to reproduce this sheet. We're going to reproduce the sheet. I've just given you a practice sheet that's front and back. I've actually given you 2 practice sheets. Okay, so one of them you can photocopy, one of the sides. You might start practicing with them, but keep one clean and make photocopies of it so that you can be writing this over and over again. Your midterm, part 1, is reproducing this sheet, and you're going to do it on your own. So practice, practice, practice. And then when you think you've got all the forms memorized and can reproduce them by memory, by heart, without any helps, then sit down, take a clean piece of paper or a clean practice sheet and try to do it in one sitting. If you get stuck, guess what? You can start over. So stop, review, crumble up your paper, and then start again. But you're going to have to start from the top. I will only accept one that you've done from start to finish with no stopping and no helps, okay? But you can do it as many times as you want to until you're happy with what you've done in one sitting, and that will be what you turn into me, okay? And I'm going to give you until next Monday. So a week from today is when this little memory work midterm part 1 thing will be. Then when we get to chapters 26 through 31, we're going to cover all of the other stems of Hebrew. Then part 2 of your midterm will be to reproduce what I call the principal parts of the other stems. So it won't be exactly like this sheet, but it'll be another sheet of things that you've memorized to help diagnose the parsing for your verb forms, okay? And of course, we'll talk about that when we get to it. That's probably about 3 weeks away, okay? Once we do that, then the part 3 of your midterm will be parsing. Yes?
So we basically have to reproduce this whole sheet?
Yes, you're gonna reproduce this sheet. Yeah, so what you're going to do is, you see the practice sheet that you have? The one with just the root letters but no vowels under them and no endings and prefixes? That's what you're going to start with, and you fill in everything that would produce what you see here. Okay?
But then sorry, I'm like really detailed. On the sheet that we're doing on our own, where we just write everything, we do have to remember, write down the root letters.
Well, use the practice sheet and write in everything on the practice sheets, and then when you're ready to actually do your quiz or your midterm, I don't mind if you take the practice sheet that has the root letters, and that will be what you start with. Okay? Okay, good. You have your marching orders.